At AIPAC's Israel-American conference, an Iranian took the stage.
So I'll call him His Majesty Reza Shah II.
This is Reza Pahlavi, the self-proclaimed heir to Iran's abolished monarchy. He recently cozied up with Israel as part of his efforts to take charge in Tehran.
The true Iran, the ancient Iran, and the soon-to-be free Iran doesn't seek your patronage. It seeks your partnership. It doesn't seek your funding. It seeks your friendship.
Since October 2023, Reza and his supporters have openly backed Israel's war in Gaza, viewing the conflict as a way to gain international support for his ambitions in Tehran.
You might fear change will bring chaos, but fear not. We will not allow a power vacuum.
Months before Israel's offensive, which has killed over 42,000 people in Gaza, Reza and his wife visited Israel, meeting Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu and other officials.
Finally, our voice is heard. There's somebody telling the world and the Israeli people that we Iranians stand with you. We want to be your friends.
He framed this visit as part of a plan to rebuild historic ties between Iran and Israel, dubbing it the Cyrus Accords.
He's positioning himself as a modern-day Cyrus the Great. It's a strategy to secure a place at the table if there is ever a regime change in Iran.
The Pahlavi dynasty ruled Iran from 1925 to 1979. While credited with modernizing the country, they were also criticized for being authoritarian and having no connection to the people. The Shahs suppressed political freedoms, marginalized opposition, and relied on brutal tactics carried out by a secret police unit, Savak. The Shah's close ties to the West, particularly the US, fueled anti-imperialist sentiment.
We have faith in the word of the United States.
Inequality and widespread discontent ultimately led to the 1979 revolution, abolishment of the monarchy, and ushering in of the Islamic Republic. Reza was training as a pilot in the US when his family were forced into exile. After his father's death in 1981, Reza declared himself the new king of Iran, but nobody took it seriously. Even the US, despite his hostile relationship with the new government, did not recognize him. According to reports, he began lobbying for government change. Eventually, he got some backing from the CIA and Israel for his plan to use former Savak agents to retake power in Tehran. However, the plan was never greenlit. He remained on the CIA payroll for a number of years in the 1980s. But this too ended after the Iran-Contra affair came to light.
من اعتقادم این است که این رندها جمع شدن دنبال این بچه که پولاشو از جیبش درارن. اینا میخوان اینا پولایی که پدر کذاش از مردم گرفته و حالا در بانک دست این است.
Over the past few decades, Reza has managed to find support among a tiny percentage of the Iranian diaspora, particularly in Los Angeles, where an estimated 700,000 Iranian expatriates live.
We want regime change in Iran.
But his activities continue to be downplayed by Iran, who portrays him as a remnant of a tyrannical Pahlavi dynasty.
His image is quite different inside and outside Iran, and he's got more support in the diaspora. But that's mostly because people are nostalgic for the monarchy era and see him as an alternative to the current regime, not necessarily because they are impressed.
Many experts have noted a surge of pro-Reza accounts on social media, pushing his agenda during protests in Iran and particularly since the war in Gaza began.
Recently, there has been a noticeable uptick in bot accounts supporting him on social media, coinciding with his efforts to court Israel and seek Western backing.
With more visibility on social media, TV screens, and public speeches supporting Israel's war in Gaza, Reza is now doubling down on his plan. He wants to exploit the chaos from Israel's invasions of Gaza and Lebanon to push himself into power in Tehran. But how does a king with no real support continue to reign over a kingdom that exists only online?